You know what sound that is, folks. You betcha. That's another Noon Whistle. I'm Chris Trottier.
And I'm John Anselm. Welcome back, Chris. Good to have you back. Today we have digital marketing coordinator Ryan Marx and Elkhorn guy with us all the way from Cleveland, Ohio. Welcome, Ryan.
Thanks, guys. It's a pleasure to be here.
Class of 2018, right?
Yes, class of 2018. Was that your last year?
No. I had two more after you.
You had two more.
But I don't. But 18's the most memorable.
I bet we were a rowdy bunch.
You were a rowdy bunch.
We had some good ones in there. That was a great year.
Where are you at today, Ryan? Where are you sitting here?
I am at the Cleveland Browns training facility or cross country mortgage campus in Berea. It's about 20 minutes south of downtown Cleveland. So this is basically for Packer fans. This is our Don Hudson Center. So this is where all of our training fields are, our training facilities, weight rooms, and this is where our headquarters are located. We do not work at the stadium like other teams do. So this is our kind of command central, if you will.
All right. So we want to talk, Chris. We want to talk all things Ryan Marx, all things Cleveland Browns today, right?
I think so. I want to hear Ryan's journey from sitting with Coach Handel doing marketing for the athletic department to then being on the 96.1, the Sports Jam, to now working for an NFL franchise. Tell us the journey, Ryan.
It's quite a ride.
We got time.
But we forgot. Don't forget UW-Madison marketing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a little bit of Oshkosh too. So I was, all the way through high school, I loved sports. Everything sports was kind of my life all the way through. And I just, freshman, sophomore year, junior year, I was trying to kind of looking for a way to channel that energy. And I played sports, but, I kind of wanted to be a part of the event of it. I think that was kind of what I wanted to get at. And one of the things that I kind of started with was radio, TV, film. And I thought, I'd be a sports broadcaster and that would be really fun. And so I asked John Handel if I could join the Sports Jam crew, just sit in the back, just kind of watch a show, see how they do it. And they think it'd be a one-time thing. Well, all of a sudden I'm part of the crew. Like, I don't know how that happened just overnight. They're just like, yeah, just come back next week. And I'm like,
you're likable.
Really?
That's why.
Thank you.
And Handel needed a buffer with Brownie. So
he needed another voice in there. Yeah.
And Ryan, you started something though, to kick back to high school. Like, you started something because of the marketing and game day stuff and all that you did back then. That's continued.
So John Handel, while he was with me at Sports Jam, and we were really close, he asked me, and he was trying to kind of upgrade our social media presence for the athletic department on across all the channels. And he had a Twitter page, and he kind of did it himself, but he really wanted somebody who was with the students. And he asked me if I'd be interested in doing it, and I said, heck yeah. So I started an Instagram page for us, and I started, making graphics for each game and telling kids where the games are, make it fun, make it creative, start, pumping out theme nights for people. And the kids responded to it. And
it was really good. That's why it was really good. Yeah.
I appreciate that. And I would sit at the lunch table asking kids, like, what do you want to see? Like, what do you want to do? I'll do it. Like, we have free reign to do basically whatever we want, to an extent. Like, you guys put some guardrails on us, obviously, but it was really fun just to kind of ask people, like, what do you want to see? Like, what do we want to do? So we had, like, I think for Lake Geneva Badger, we did like frat night. Like, we had kids show up in yachting outfits and stuff like that. We did a bunch of whiteouts and blackouts, and everybody wore the same color. Those are really fun. We had one night where everybody dressed in ugly sweaters for Christmas. So all those were really, really fun. And I would show up with my camera and shoot it and just shoot what was happening on the floor in the crowd. And I just posted to social media, and people loved it. People responded to it. And those were some of my favorite memories in high school, were, taking that and running with it. And thank you to, Mr. Trottier and John Handel and Mr. Keel, who was the athletic director at the time, for letting me, take it and run with it and just make it my own, which was so much fun.
All right, so let's get in our car and travel to UW-Oshkosh.
There you go.
Oshkosh. Yep. So I got to UW-Oshkosh. That was my first stop. I wanted to do radio, TV, film still. I still had a an interest in broadcasting. So I worked for, I'm going to mess this up. I believe it was WSUM was the rate, or that might be the Madison one. I can't remember the
right.
Oshkosh one. I'm so bad at the call letters, but
that's okay. No worries. That's why you're in marketing.
Exactly. And I also had a game entertainment internship there where I would be, on the basketball court throwing t-shirts and going up into the crowd and picking people out of the crowd. And that was my first kind of taste of that too. But Oshkosh just wasn't a great fit for me. It just was kind of small, and I just didn't. Yeah. I wanted something bigger. I wanted to be a part of something that was huge. So I transferred to Madison after. All right. I transferred to Madison after my freshman year, and that was the best move I could have made for myself. And being a part of that and that energy was phenomenal. And I made like a duck to water, and go to the football games, go to the basketball games, but it still was like, I needed a way to channel that energy. I needed to get involved, and then COVID hit, and there was nothing for good year and a half. From March 2020 through the end of 2021. It wasn't until the start of my senior year where they started letting kids out and doing things, and I went to an org fair at the Kohl Center, and I'm walking around, and there's this table for Area Red. And Area Red is the student section at Madison. Most people who go to games have seen us in the, in the student section being crazy, but there's actually an organization behind it that runs it. And I went up to the table and I said, you guys, what do you do? Like, what do you? And he said, we really need somebody to do marketing. And I was like, I can help you. Yeah. So, and it was the exact same thing. They said, take it and run with it, make it yours.
Come on.
So, they were like, they said, we need somebody to do Instagram. We need somebody to do Twitter. They're just like, just take it and go. I was like, great. So I started doing basically the exact same thing I did at Elkhorn, making graphics and, doing this and that and theme nights and, going and taking pictures places, hockey games, volleyball games, basketball games. And then it kind of did the same thing. It just took off and people loved it. And then it all kind of culminated in this moment where we were in a Big Ten championship game, or I should say, we had a chance to win the Big Ten championship at home against Purdue, and it turned into a whiteout, and the place was incredible. And it was one of the most insane atmospheres I still get chills thinking about it. One of the most insane atmospheres I've ever been a part of at a sporting event. And we won it, and they stormed the court, and it was just unbelievable. So being a part of those moments has always been what's driven me, and giving people the opportunity to be a part of those moments has been the driving force for me in my career and where I am today. So those experiences.
Yeah. I just think back, like, I remember when Coach Handel came to me and we were talking about scaling up the marketing. Let's tell a story. We got good stories. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to, and he said, yeah, Ryan came to me and here we go. And next thing you know, it kind of blew up. And, you talked about like the whiteouts and the theme nights. And as John said, like, that's still going. That's your legacy. That's still going. And then I think about the year after Lexi Runnels took over, and and she did 90 feet like Jay Billis with Lexi. And by the way,
that was a phenomenal idea.
It was awesome.
Kudos to her.
And you ready for this? We sent multiple messages to Jay Billis, and he never replied on social media. So I'm going to start a 30 for 30. It's not I hate Christian Leitner. It's I hate Jay Billis. It's still Duke, Marksy. It's still Duke.
All right, Marksy, let's go. UW Madison graduation. Yes. Ryan's entering
the job
market.
It was 95 degrees that day. We were in metal bleachers and black robes. It was hot.
So then what happens? Yeah. Like, you're an adult. You're a graduate. You're in the real world. Now what?
Well, it's looking for a job, and in sports, it's really difficult to break in. And that first job is always tough. And, interviewing with different teams, trying to, I would, get to that last stage of the interview. And then, they say we went with somebody with more experience, or, we went with somebody who better fits, our needs at this point, and kind of getting frustrated. And, all of a sudden the Cleveland Browns reach out to me, and I meet my manager, and Leah Archul, and she's phenomenal. We just kind of hit it off the minute that we sat on our first Zoom call, and all of a sudden I'm sitting in Cleveland. And this was the last place I thought I'd end up, but it turned out to be phenomenal. So my job, I can go into my job role here. I feel like that's
jump right in.
Is so I'm a digital marketing coordinator, which My job's kind of twofold. So the first part of my job is to execute all obligations for our corporate partners on our digital platforms. So anytime you see a sponsored logo on our email, website, mobile app, social media, anytime you see a sponsored logo, that's me making sure that that gets there. Whether that's talking to our social team, making sure they know what they have to do, talking to our video team, making sure that they know what they have to include in their videos, talking to our photo team, our articles writers, all that stuff is my job to make sure that those get to where they need to go and that we are fulfilling our obligations for corporate partners. And also sitting in and ideating with our corporate partners and saying like, okay, what makes sense for you? What, what assets do we have that would fit you and your company? So some examples of that was like, we had an article series called Keys to the Game that we sold last year to Kia because we thought, keys like driving a car, like that would be, an example of one that fits really well for a brand. And then the other side of my job is one-to-one communication. So I handle a lot with emails. I build out all the emails that we send to people. This year we are working on trying to get SMS text messaging up and running. It's a slow process, but we're hopefully going to get there. But that's just another way that we can hopefully touch our fans and, make an impact on people.
Right. I think it's important for people to know that since you started with the Cleveland Browns, their record has gotten better every year.
See?
I'm just saying.
All 2 years? Yeah.
It's not an accident.
No, I mean.
That's correct. Yeah.
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 I don't want to hear about quarterback play or who the head coach is.
They listen to my advice. I tell them what they have to do, and they do it. And they, it's been a great relationship with me in the front office. It's been phenomenal.
So I do have a question, and this is this I'm trying to wrap my mind around this and find some real empathy here. And John Anselm's going, here we go.
Yep.
So you grow no, and this is true. I've always wondered this, really. Like, so you grow up in Wisconsin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, UW, go Red, right? Brewers, Packers, right? And then all of a sudden you get hired by another team.
Yeah.
And you got to wear the brand. Not. Of course, you're gonna be loyal to it. They're my employer. I'm all in. I'm a loyal to the brand. I'm rah. Like, how did that feel that first time? Like, wow, I've never put this on. This is my first pair of Cleveland Browns gear.
Yeah, it's a little weird. It's kind of like, wearing a pair of shoes you got to break into. It's like, all right, this is just kind of something new, but it's exciting. It's learning about a new culture and a new set of people that you have to reach out to. It's, the interesting thing about Cleveland is that it's very, very similar to Milwaukee. Very similar atmosphere, similar people, blue collar, hardworking city. The sports teams are small but mighty. It's really that kind of atmosphere here too. So the transition in that regard was really easily. It wasn't like I was moving to a New York or a Chicago where it's, the stakes are massive and everything is the people love their sports teams here and they're very passionate about it. And they're hardworking blue collar people, and we try and play into that as much as we can. And it's really fun. It's been really fun learning about this community. It's always, Wisconsin will always be home, and I'll always have a soft spot for my teams back there. But learning about new fan bases and new cultures and new traditions. It's when I first went into the dog pound, I do not think I was ready for how crazy it was. That is one of the craziest places on earth. When it's really going and it's loud in there, it's one of the best feelings ever. And that's kind of what I've been falling in love with here so far.
I thought for sure you're gonna have the dog pound mask on when you got on.
I know. I need the dog. Yeah, the dog mask guy. He's got the bone.
Hey, John, I got another question. I've just been thinking about this. John's. We do a good job of when we talk to alumni, like talking about and connecting where you are now to where you came from. Mm-hmm. And I was just thinking about like here you are, somebody so like John Handel, you develop a relationship with him. He recognizes your talents, your excitement. He comes up with a unique strategy to get you to your passion quickest, right? Really that. Mm-hmm. I guess my question would be like, how, when you went through the stages, Oshkosh, UW, and then obviously now working for a professional sports team. Do you think like that series of experiences played a role in you getting hired into an NFL franchise? Or was it just, was it your passion?
I think it's both. I think it's both. Definitely the people that I came up with and, gave me all these opportunities, you obviously have to give them, kudos and, but you can't be in this spot if you don't love it. Like people, who come here and they just kind of, you can tell they don't like sports. They get hired here and it's like, yeah, I'm here for marketing. And they're just like, they don't go to the games. And it's like, why would you not want to go to the games? They're just like, well, it's not part of my job description. Well, okay.
Yeah,
well,
but
you're not going to last very long because you're not going to have fun. And, part of having a great job is having fun. And that's what I love about this. But I think the most important thing and the most important theme that I've kind of noticed across my path is the people that have given me the most success in my career have been people who have let me do it my way and have kind of let me explore and make mistakes and,
Nice.
Call me out when I'm wrong, but also, not try and step in and, make it my own. You just kind of have to let people who are learning and people who are trying to figure things out do it their own way. And that's been my boss here with the Browns too. She's just kind of let me, build my own path and kind of blaze my own trail. And it's been fantastic. And we have a good working relationship. And, but yeah, just kind of letting me do my thing. And we eventually figured it out. Now, obviously you guys had to put some guardrails on me, like I said, but it's that's the part of the fun. Like you
not
as
as
many
many as people
guardrails.
think, though.
What's that?
Not as many as people think.
No. I mean, there were a couple that I remember. There was one post that I was gonna post on the Instagram on Elkhorn where it was I think Delavan hadn't beaten us at home in so many years or so, and we had I think it was like 2006, and we had a Instagram carousel of all the things that hadn't happened since 2006. So like Toy Story 2 was the best movie. Like LeBron James was still in Cleveland the first time. Like it was like one of those like
Brilliant.
John said you can't post that, and I was like, okay, so like just some guardrails.
Mark, so you should have asked me. I would have been like, I love it. It's hilarious.
I know.
So did you know, Chris, that Ryan did an internship here for a summer at Elkhorn Area School District?
Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I did.
And did you know that book of taking care of business, so alumni that have businesses in our school district, all of that formatting and a lot of the work going business to business was done by Ryan?
I didn't, and here I've been giving you credit for it.
I threw the idea to Ryan, and he was like, "I got it. This will be cool."
Yeah,
and
that
he
was
took
great.
it and put it together.
It was awesome. It was really well done. I still talk about that.
That experience was so much fun for me to do because it was giving back to my community. It was, really networking with people, but I got to talk to people that I haven't talked to in years and just going around the community, and half the people I didn't even know had a business. Like, these people from school and, you know them from around town, like, church, or, them from community group, or, them from this or that, but you don't know what they do. You don't know what and, meeting these people and talking to them and figuring out what they do for a living was, one of the most fascinating experiences that I had in Elkhorn. And that, I hope that book is, circulates for a while, because there's some great stories in there of different people who had some really successful lives in Elkhorn.
So we continue to add to that, but my real question here before we go, I know we're getting close on time, is can you hook us up with Drew Carey?
You know what? I will direct you to our fan engagement coordinator. He is in charge of all the celebrities. I will say we are working right now on a video for schedule release. Schedule release has become a kind of the Super Bowl for social media teams in the NFL, and it's just the amount of resources that have been poured into that from different teams has been incredible. And ours this year, we're hoping, is going to be something really special and something that
That's
people
cool.
in Cleveland particularly, but people everywhere can resonate with. So be on the lookout for that. That'll be between May 8th and 10th. They haven't announced a date yet, but that'll be coming out very soon.
That's super
So,
cool.
Nice.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we're getting towards the end. I think, John, I think we should
Oh,
make
man.
a trip to Cleveland, man. Don't you think? Like,
That would be fun. We
we
could
could
go
just
live from
videotape and
Cleveland.
shadow Ryan and see what it's like. And
Yeah. I come on down. I'll get you some tickets to go to the game. Yeah, you guys can.
Ooh.
We'll
That would
get
be
you
the
there.
next avenue of our show is we need to travel.
You guys do remotes?
Of
We do
course
remotes.
we do.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
You guys need a theme song too. Like, do one
I
of you
agree.
sing? Like, you could do a theme song at the beginning.
Oh, I like
do
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Have,
Well, look, you gave us a project. Well, John, you
Yeah.
got. I mean, you were in a barbershop quartet growing up, so that'll be perfect for you.
No, I sang. They told me I was a tenor. That I need to go 10 or 15 miles away.
All right, sounds good.
Boo, boo.
Yeah, that was a dad joke, Mark.
Oh,
yeah.
All right, hey, we always do quick thank yous. We're running out of time, but I just want to close. Ryan, thanks for being here, but give a little shout out or thank you to somebody before we close.
Yeah, of course. First, I got to start with John Handel. He's the reason I'm here. I always say that. He gave me my first opportunity and got me interested in this, and really gave me the resources and tools and let me, do things my way. And he's always given me the best opportunities that he could possibly give me. So shout out to him. He's always been there for me. Obviously the Sports Jam guys too, Jeff Brown, Jerry Stelz, Mike Coolidge, the late Bill Blakely. All those guys have been nothing but great to me over the years. Pencil, I'm sorry, I forgot about Pencil. Can't forget about him. As much as we'd like to. But all those guys have been great over the years. And then one special shout out, Kyle Paulson is a teacher at Jackson Elementary.
Right.
He was my third grade teacher. He is retiring at the end of this year. He was one of my favorite teachers. Always willing to talk to me about sports when I was, a little kid, and it was, nothing but great. And he was great to me and my family. So congratulations to him on a great career. And hopefully the next phase of his life will be as good as the one that he just had. Also to Sam Stepnitz, because I know that he shouted me out on this podcast.
He
That was
did.
the reason that
Yeah.
on the Mini Hoop League one. I was not a part of Mini Hoop League. Well, I should say I played in the Mini Hoop League.
All right.
I was not great.
But we will make sure you're invited to the annual Mini Hoop Noon Whistle, where we
Yes.
analyze the NCAA tournament.
That was great. I listened to that episode. That was fantastic. I was a pick and roll specialist.
Oh, I believe
So I would just bump again. The screens were so illegal. I would just bounce a guy and then turn, and it was just right there. So shout out to him for
All right.
having me. That got me on the show. So
I love it.
thank
All
you.
right.
And then thank you. One more. Thank you to both of you guys too. John, you've been there for me all these years, and as a baseball coach, as a mentor, and Chris too. You know what? You've been there for me too. It's been a great ride.
Our pleasure.
Yeah.
Our pleasure. I don't think we're going to do any more shout outs, so we're going to leave it. We're going to leave it on that.
That was a
high
lot.
note.
I'm
Leave it
sorry.
on that. That's all right.
But I do have one quick question, and you got to name one name. So from your era. All right. Well, we posed this to the Mini Hoop League guys. So there's discussion about high school kids having NIL deals. Okay. You get one Elkhorn person to invest in. Who are you investing in your NIL deal?
One Elkhorn kid from my era.
Yep. Basketball player, football player. Who's going to yield the biggest investment?
You know what? I'm going to go. Man, that's so tough. I don't know.
You're running out
You
of
know what?
time.
I might say, Peyton Jacobson.
Pretty good one there.
That's a pretty good one.
Pretty good one there.
Did he just qualify for the Olympics? I believe
He did. He's going to Paris.
That
did.
would be, I believe that would probably be my investment right
good
there.
call.
He's-
Fairly high ROI on that one.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and on that note, congratulations to Peyton Jacobson, Benji Peak. Thank you to Marksy for being on here. We're proud of you. We will definitely come and see a Cleveland game. Just get us tickets in the Dog Pound. I want to be in there, or at
Yes.
least send Brownie in there. So that'll be perfect.
We can do that.
All right. On that
Absolutely.
note, we
All
got to
right.
go back to work, and so do you, Marksy. Have a good day.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you guys. We
Yeah.
appreciate it.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.